Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Canto 8. We are on chapter 5 of Canto 8. Does anyone remember what we have been reading?
Hare Krishna. We were reading that the demigods and in association of Brahmaji, they went to the Shir Sagar and they were offering the prayers. So they were also now they were glorifying all the opulence and how the Krishna is the source of everything. How Lord is source of everything, even uh, even the even like how the all the living, the moving and the non-moving, how everything comes from him, how the vayu comes from him, how all the spores of our body comes from him. Like he's the source of everything. He's the cause of everything. So we were reading that, like how even Mahendra, the Indra, was born out of his powers. So everything we are reading about
Yeah.
him, and they're offering the prayers to that Lord who is the cause, who's the source of everything. Yeah.
Thank you. So then brings us to today's text, 42. Lobho dharat pritiruparya bhutyutir.
लोभो अधारात् प्रीति उपाय दुतेन
Nashta pashavya sparshena kamaha.
नष्टा पशर्वा स्पर्शेण कामः
Bruvor yamaha pakshma bhavastu kalaha.
भुवोर्यमापक्ष्मभवास्तु कालः
Prasidatam na samaha vibhutihi.
प्रसीदतां न समः विभूतिः.
Greed is generated from his lower lip, affection from his upper lip, bodily luster from his nose, animalistic lusty desires from his sense of touch, Yamaraj from his eyebrows, and eternal time from his eyelashes. May that Supreme Lord be pleased with us. So we are hearing the description of the universal form of the Lord, how everything is coming in the body of the Lord. So greed is coming from where?
His lower lip.
And affection,
Upper lip.
what's coming from the nose?
Bodily luster.
Bodily luster. And from his sense of touch?
Yeah. Animalistic lusty desires.
And now everyone's afraid of Yamaraj. Where is Yamaraj coming from?
Eyebrows.
Yeah. And time?
From eyelashes.
Yeah. So everything is coming from the Lord. Dravyam vaya karma gunan vishesham.
Dravyam vayam
Vishesham.
Yad yogamaya vihitan vadanti.
Yad
Yogamaya vihitan vadanti.
Yadur vibhavyam prabudha badam.
Vibhadam prabhudapavadam.
Prasidatam na samaha vibhutihi.
Prasidatam na samaha vibhutihi.
Or learned men say that the five elements, eternal time, fruitive activity, the three modes of material nature, and the varieties produced by these modes are all creations of Yoga Maya. This material world is therefore extremely difficult to understand, but those who are highly learned have rejected it. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the controller of everything, be pleased with us. The word Durvibhavyam is very important in this verse. No one can understand how everything is happening in this material world by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his material energies. So we actually can't understand. We try to make sense of something, but everything is happening under the will of the Supreme Lord. As they say, not even a blade of grass moves without the will. It's happening by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord. The material energy is one of his energies. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Everything is actually happening under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This much we can learn, but how it is happening is extremely difficult to understand. We cannot even understand how the affairs within our body are systematically taking place. Right? We don't know how the food we are eating, it's getting digested with the different juices, and then the energy is being produced in the body. Then something goes wrong, one tiny crystal in the ear moves, and then we get vertigo, can't even walk properly. Everything is moving around us. You know, little bit in the body, something goes haywire, the functioning of the body goes upset. So, how it is happening, we are not able to understand. The body is a small universe. And since we cannot understand how things are happening in this small universe, how can we understand the affairs of the bigger universe? Actually, this universe is very difficult to understand. Yet, learned sages have advised, as Krishna has also advised, that this material world is Dukhalayam Ashasvatam. In other words, it is a place of misery and temporality. Temporality. So Krishna says that having come to this miserable temporary world, engage in transcendental loving service to me. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling us the nature of this world. We are trying to be happy. We do this. We think happiness is going to be here. But happiness eludes us. Just coming, just coming. We may try this or that. And then we just feel, let me just change this and I will be completely happy. Just coming, just around the corner. And that is the illusion. Whereas Krishna is very clearly saying it's Dukhalayam Ashasvatam. So he's saying that having come to this miserable temporary world, you engage in transcendental loving service to me. So one must give up this world and go back home, back to the personality of Godhead. Materialists may argue, if this material world and its affairs are impossible to understand, how can we reject it? The answer is provided by the word aprabudhapabhadham. We have to reject this material world because it is rejected by those who are learned in Vedic wisdom. Even though we cannot understand what this material world is, we should be ready to reject it in accordance with the advice of learned persons, especially the advice of Krishna. So Prabhupada is putting the argument that someone may say, oh, how can you reject something you don't understand? You know, maybe you don't understand it, and that's why you are just feeling frustrated about it. So just try to understand it. But Prabhupada is saying that we need to follow the learned persons, and the most learned person is Krishna. So we are encouraged to accept the advice of Krishna. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Mamopetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashasvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. This is Bhagavad Gita 8.15. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. One has to return home, back to Godhead, for this is the highest perfection of life. To go back to Godhead means to reject this material world. Although we cannot understand the functions of this material world and whether it is good for us or bad for us, in accordance with the advice of the Supreme Authority, we must reject it and go back home, back to Godhead. So Prabhupada is saying we are not concerned whether it is good or bad. What we are concerned is to follow Krishna's instructions. Because Krishna is saying, you come back to me. You come back to the spiritual world. And in this way, you will never come back to the material world. So Prabhupada is saying we are not concerned with goodness or badness. We are concerned with following Krishna's instructions. And go back home, back to Godhead. Any comments, questions?
Hare Krishna. So does it mean that it's okay to, means it's to reject this material world? Like how it
Yeah,
says that the intelligent who have studied the Vedic, right? Who have the Vedic non-wisdom and they
yeah,
reject.
yeah. That's right.
But
So
But the
then
Srila,
we have
material
to
world
understand
is,
what does it
but it
mean
is
to
real,
reject.
right? Right.
So
So the material
yeah,
world is real, but it's, yeah, temporary. But,
yes. So
right?
that is what we have to understand. That it is not false. It's not that, oh, right now we are not inside the body. We are right now
Mm,
very much inside the body. You know, somebody, little hurt we get, how much we say
mm,
paining, paining. We cannot say,
mm,
no, no, it's not paining. Oh, no, right? We are hungry, we say, oh, yeah, I need to eat. Oh, we are thirsty, I have to drink water. So we have to
mm.
understand what does it mean to reject it. Understanding that we are not the body, we are the soul. We are right now inside the body, but this is not our real identity. Our real identity is we are spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna. Yes, right now we are in the body, so we make the best use of a bad bargain, as Prabhupada would say. Does that make
So,
sense?
yeah, so that's what it means, right? To reject
Yeah,
is like, okay, understanding that we are not this body, and
yeah,
right, and we are
that's
the
right.
soul. Okay,
And that we have to go back home, back to Godhead. So we have
right.
to engage in devotional service.
Oh,
Neha, you were saying something, is it?
yeah, no, I was saying the same thing. Like
Ah,
how to, like
ah,
or like how can we reject it in a way? So yeah, this is what, yeah, one thing.
yeah.
yeah.
Because,
So that's
artificially rejecting, saying, oh, I'm going to give up the world. Oh, so I'm not going to eat or I'm not going to drink. How many days can we do that? It's not practical, right? Because we are very much inside the body. How many days can we do that? And then we'll give up this body again. We'll find ourselves in another body, still in the material world.
Mm.
So understanding
So
things
like,
in their correct
so
as
like
the
then,
truths. Hmm?
so then the real rejection means that to understand that you are the soul and not the body, and then serve Krishna, surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna, and begin your devotional service. Because from there it begins, right?
Yes, that's right.
mm, okay.
Yeah.
Mm. This is like, it seems very simple, but it's like quite deep point, a very important
Yeah.
point. It seems Prabhupada has put it in a very simple way, but it's quite deep. Like how we
Yeah.
always see, like how we read previously, the lip, the upper lip and the lower lip, they are the, like the greed,
Yeah.
and like love is the
Affection.
upper one. So like affection. So like how both are always simultaneously there, good and bad, you know, even like greed and love is there, the upper, it's like wow, but we don't understand, like we have to choose. Yes, it's always connect in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Namostu tasma upashanta shaktaye
Namostu tasma upashanta shaktaye
Swarajya labha pratipurti tatmane.
Swarajya
Japa
labha
prati
pratipurtatmane
Guneshu maya rachiteshu vrittibhi
Guneshu
Gurushu
maya rachiteshu prabhir
na sajjamanaya nabhasvat uttaye.
na
Nasajamana
sajjamanaya
Yanabasvat
bhasvataye.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is completely silent, free from endeavor, and completely satisfied by his own achievements. He is not attached to the activities of the material world through his senses. Indeed, in performing his pastimes in this material world, he is just like the unattached air. So by hearing this verse, we can see, because some people may think Krishna gets karma for the activities he does. No, just like the air sometimes will carry fragrance, sometimes it's going through dirty places, but the air is not affected. The air is a pure air by itself. We can simply understand that behind the activities of material nature is the Supreme Lord, by whose indications everything takes place, although we cannot see him. Even without seeing him, we should offer him our respectful obeisances. We should know that he is complete. Everything is done systematically by his energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Shruyate. And therefore he has nothing to do. Natasya Karyam Karanam Cha Vidyate. So everything is happening under Krishna's will. Mayadhyakshena Prakriti, he's saying. It's happening under my supervision. So it's not that Krishna is taking a binoculars, he's sitting in Golok Vrindavan. He's taking a binoculars and then he's saying, hey, sun, why you didn't rise as yet? You must rise now. Oh, wind, you have to go here, you do that. Oh, rain, now you have to fall. It's not that he is, you know, like overstressed because he has so many things to take care of. Like imagine if there's a manager of a big factory and you see the manager giving orders here and there and running here and there. But Krishna, he's simply by his will, everything is happening systematically, as indicated here by the word Upashanta Shaktaye. His different energies act. But although he sets these energies in action, he himself has nothing to do. He's playing in Golok Vrindavan. It's not that he's wrinkled and crazed and he's saying, oh, it's so much stress, I have to manage so many universes. No, he is not attached to anything, for he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything belongs to him. And that's how he is the most renounced. Everything belongs to him, yet he is not attached. You know, we something belongs to us, how attached we get. Oh, it's mine, it's mine. So that's why Lord Brahma is saying, therefore, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto him, understanding that he is the Supreme Lord. We may not be able to see him. Brahmaji is not able yet to see the Lord, but he's continuing to say, let us offer our obeisances to the Lord. Let us offer our obeisances to the Lord. Is that okay? Any comments?
So like the example that you gave right now, Shilpaji, the smell and the air.
Hmm.
So like he is in the same way. He's giving us what we need, but he's not impacted. He's not attached to it, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Okay. Mm.
He's not at all.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get any karma. He's beyond the modes of nature.
Mm.
He's not forced to act by the modes of nature.
Mm. Okay, yeah.
Satvam no darshayatmanam
Sattvam no darshaya atmanam
Darshayatmanam
asmat karana gocharam
asmat
asmat
karana
karana
gocharam
gocharam
prapananam tidrakshunam
prapannanam
prapannanam
didikshunam
didrikshunam
sasmitam te mukhambujam.
sasmitam te
sasmitam te
mukhambujam.
kambujam.
O Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are surrendered unto you, yet we wish to see you. Please make your original form and smiling lotus face visible to our eyes and appreciable to our other senses. So Brahmaji is saying, I can't see you, but you please become visible to us. The devotees are always eager to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his original form with his smiling lotus like face. They are not interested in experiencing the impersonal form. The Lord has both impersonal and personal features. The impersonalists have no idea of the personal feature of the Lord, but Lord Brahma and the members of his disciplic succession want to see the Lord in his personal form. Without a personal form, there can be no question of a smiling face, which is clearly indicated here by the words Sasmitam te mukhambujam. So, by hearing the prayers of Brahmaji, we can very clearly understand that God is a person, that he has a form, that he has a smiling face, that he is the supreme controller. Those who are in the Vaishnav Sampradaya of Brahma always want to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are eager to realize the Lord's personal feature, not the impersonal feature. As clearly stated here, Asmat Karana Gocharam. The personal feature of the Lord can be directly perceived by our senses. So Lord Brahma is saying, you kindly become visible to us. We cannot see you. But if you allow, if you give us that vision, we will be able to see you. Is that okay?
Mm, yeah, I just want to clarify. So Lord Brahma came to got all this wisdom is because when he came, right, uh, in this world, and he had to do the tap, right? That's what he heard. Tap, 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 right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then that's where he got all this thing, right? The whole knowledge.
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's how
Krishna
like
gave him
he's
all
telling
the
him,
Vedic
give
knowledge
him
in
that
his heart.
Vedic knowledge. Right. So that's why
Yeah.
like he's giving out this whole knowledge, but he himself has not seen the Lord
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
But the
At
description, like
this
given like
moment,
as Sham
at,
Sundar and all that, he must have
but
seen. I mean, he must have.
see, that's what he saw Vaikuntha. That's how he's saying that there is Chintamani, there's
Mm.
Kalpavriksha, there's millions of goddesses of fortune. But right now he's not able to see the Lord. Right now they are the ocean of milk. They have gone to the ocean of milk. Right now they are not able to see him. So he's offering these prayers so that the Lord can become visible to them. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay? We'll stop here for today.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.